Hello everyone. TechGoodReads give you good thing to read to listen. Today I will talk about AWS monitoring. In the Lean startup, we have a build, measure, learn loop. Using this loop, we can gain knowledge about our system and develop it. For the measure parts is very important. Today we use AWS to monitor and measure it. Mainly we can use it to check operational health, resource utilization, application performance, and security auditing. When we measure the system, there are different tools in the AWS you can use to monitor different things. For the cost, AWS Cost Explorer can help you know where you are spending money, and it can collect 13-month data, and you can use it to see patterns and forecast how much money you will cost in the future. CloudWatch is used to monitor the AWS infrastructure. If we want to monitor user actions, we use CloudTrail. It can record all API calls made in your account and save logs into the S3 buckets. We can also use Athena to analyze the data in the S3 and then present to the users. Let's focus on the CloudWatch. In the CloudWatch, it can help collect data, monitor your system, and do any actions when we have some alerts or events. And we also can analyze those metrics and data. We can group them into functions into two groups. One include metrics, logs, and alarms. The other include events, rules, and targets. Metrics is a very core part of the CloudWatch. On the CloudWatch console, we can monitor every aspect of the system's health. CloudWatch Logs is a very useful tool to analyze logs. It can help search and monitor the logs from the other AWS services, or you can use API to put your application logs into it. CloudWatch Logs Insight is a very useful tool, and it can help you to analyze your logs. From the right side picture, we can see that on the Insight console, you can input a query, and then it will search out those logs, and also draw the diagram to show how these events occurred. And here we also have an example to search using the logs insight. We need to define the fields. In this example, it includes timestamp, message, and log string. And we want to filter for the message only include some IDs. So we use filter the message like the ID number here. And next, we can sort by the timestamp. And at last, we can limit only 20 logs are output to the console. This is a very helpful tool, and you need to learn about that logs syntax and use it. It's very good tools. When we monitor our system with the metrics, sometimes we want to give us a notification. Then here we can use alarms. It's used to trigger actions automatically based on the metrics. For example, using alarm, you can trigger that email sent to you, or maybe using a short message or give another alarm, or maybe you can use it to trigger auto-scaling. CloudWatch can generate events. We use that events to describe changes in AWS resources. For example, we want to implement Chrome features Some lambda we need it can be triggered based on our cron rules. Then we can write such a rule in the CloudWatch, and it can generate events and trigger the lambda. In the CloudWatch, we can define rules. A rule matches incoming events and routes them to target for processing. Here we have an example, and in this example, it defines the source and defines the resource and the details. And using such rules can route your events to the target. For the target is the where to process the events. For example, using the lambda to handle that cron job triggers, and to handle such events, we can also use SNS, SQS, or all those targets. For the whole picture of the CloudWatch, it's a metrics repository. We can see that it intake your customer data or other resources and put those in the metrics. And then we can use the alarm to trigger any actions like sending email or auto-scaling. And we can also analyze those logs or those metrics. Thank you for listening. This is Tenny. See you next time.